Building right-priced homes for everyone in India. This is what every stakeholder involved in building homes in the country should work towards. It's not the developer community's job alone. It's a lot to do with policy and the policy framework at the centre and the state government level. There is also a big role that financial institutions play in making right-priced homes possible for everyone in the country. Over the last few years, while homes are being built, they are being built mostly for the well-off. Those who are at the lower end of India's middle class and below that are finding it tougher and tougher to buy a decent home. We will, in today's Realty Debate, lay out the problem. The intention, of course, is a little bigger, to come up with solutions. What can and should be done to build more right-priced homes in the country, and we'll focus today on that sweet spot that everybody talks about, which is 25 lakh to 50 lakh rupees. I'm joined today by Ashish Puravankara, Joint Managing Director, Puravankara Projects Limited. Ashish, thank you very much for making the time here. We're going to get down to how you can do it because Puravankara has done it. Ashutosh Limai, Head Research and Real Estate Intelligence Services, Jones Lang LaSalle, India. Ashutosh, your report was, of course, very, very in-depth, and I'm going to use some of that on the show as well. Sanjaya Gupta, Managing Director, PNB Housing and Finance. Sanjay, thanks very much. And of course, you've got a lot of experience from the microfinance point of view and also from just the entire retail mortgage business. Rohit Modi, Managing Director, Ashiana Homes, again, developer involved in bringing some of these right-priced homes to the market. And Sameer Jasuja, Founder and CEO of Prop Equity. All right, before we actually start the discussion, just very simple layout of what pushes up the prices of homes in India. First, of course, is the cost of land. You speak to any developer and he says land is just so expensive. There's so much control on land and its development, and of course the government creates the maximum artificial shortage. Construction costs. Now these form nearly 50 to 60% of the total selling price, and as we all know, the prices of cement, sand, steel all have gone up. If you look at the last decade, you actually have a significant rise of almost 80 to 100%. Then, of course, lack of access to home finance. I'm not so sure whether it works for everybody, but yes, if you're a salaried income person, then it's not an issue. But if you do go down below that, or if you're a self-employed professional without regular paperwork, it could become a big challenge. So we look at that as well on how to make that challenge go away. Then, of course, there are regulatory constraints. We've all spoken several times about just the regulatory process, approvals, and how those take so much time that it pushes up the cost of building homes in this country. Okay, Ashish, coming to you. Challenges all laid out, yet you've got into the segment. So what motivated you to get into this 25 to 50, 60 lakh segment?
Manisha, as you mentioned earlier, most of the developers are actually involved in building luxury homes, whereas there was absolutely no branded player in this space addressing this demand. Our chairman, in fact, noticed this about 10 years ago. We went to work on affordable houses around 2006. Approached it in a very scientific manner, understood the demand. The statistics out there will tell you that the housing shortfall in the country today is at about over 19 million homes, and 90% of that falls in the low income and the affordable segment. So this is a very big number. So basically we went back to the drawing board, did a lot of value engineering, understood the demand there, did mock interviews with prospective buyers, understood things that are important to them in these homes, and finally we launched our first project in 2008. It was a huge success. The challenges, of course, are there while the demand is so huge in terms of availability of land, the delay in sanctions, as you mentioned earlier, and also keeping costs in check. But we believe that now being in this business for the last 4 years, we've been able to keep our costs in control. We've come up with a design which has been successful, and we've been growing rapidly in this space. Currently, we are developing over 12 million square feet in the premium affordable space.
But if you look at the universe, Ashish, it's very small, and I'm going to go to have a panel comment here as well. Rohit, you're in that space, Ashish is in that space, Puravankara through Provident Housing is in that space, but there are just not too many developers who are taking the plunge. It looks like the sweet spot. It looks like, oh my God, look at the demand in this segment. then why not break through the challenges and do more housing in that 25 to 50 lakh bracket?
The biggest challenge is the land, because the land prices keep on moving exponentially, and we have also been plagued by high construction cost or volatility in construction costs in the last 4 or 5 years significantly. As you were talking in your introduction, in this bracket, if you marry the aspiration of a lower middle income with the budget, you're looking at about 800 to 900 square foot of minimum space, 2 BHK. Right. And if you look at 3,000 rupees, you're looking at 24, 25 lakh rupees. Okay. Now, anywhere in the metro India today to deliver something for below 3,000 is a huge challenge. And in this particular bracket, construction cost itself is becoming 60% of your total, top line. And then the land takes a further 30%. So you're looking at a 10% GP, gross profit or for a working margin. So it's not a very lucrative segment. That's why you don't find too many players being part of this, because the time taken to acquire a land, get all the approvals, including the environmental clearances and all, is same whether I'm doing a luxury project or I'm doing a middle income or a low middle income project. And then the returns are not commensurate, because all taxations are same, all levies are same. Cost of construction do not differ so much whether you're doing a 25 lakh rupee housing or a 50 lakh rupee housing. That differential, that beta is only maybe 50 rupees.
Right. In fact, Ashutosh, this is something that your report also pointed out. There was a lovely graph in that as well. And that, of course, focused more on affordable housing. But even if we take lower income group and middle income group, just the way the cost of construction and all the taxes which come around it really don't differ so much, whether you're at the bottom of the pyramid or at the top of the pyramid. Is that a discrepancy which needs to be taken care of at a policy level?
Absolutely. There has to be differentiation, and the policy should define the efforts that are being done towards creating housing for the LIG or EWS segment. If there is no differentiation, it's very difficult to imagine why developers would be incentivized or be encouraged to do projects in that space when the efforts that are expected of them are going to be the same, irrespective of whether they are doing housing for LIG or for HIG. So there has to be differentiation and incentivization. But at the same time, I think more and more developers are now spreading their footprint across various categories within the residential, and they want to hedge the risk, and it all comes down to how fast they can sell. And I'm introducing a point here that the sweet spot, the houses that are priced around 30 lakh rupees or so, sell in no time really. So it's a question of whether you want to build quickly, sell quickly and move on to the next project and play a volume game, or you want to whether you are prepared to play a waiting game and sell high ticket residential, which takes relatively more time to offload.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display, full screen view, faster response time, and Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.